Hi, I'm Shayna Galen, and this is the second in a short series of videos I'm making related to my upcoming release, No Earls Allowed, which comes out March 6th in print and digital. And this is the cover. That's Luna. I have no idea why she's meowing. I guess she just has a lot to say today. A great deal of No Earls Allowed takes place in an orphanage in Spitalfields. And last week I talked about orphanages during the Regency, and this week I want to talk about the area of Spitalfields. Spitalfields is in the East End area of London, which means it wasn't the home of the wealthy and powerful that so often populate the Regency romances we read and write. In the Regency area, it had a reputation as an inexpensive place to live, and it was home to many immigrants who were fleeing poverty or persecution in their home countries. Spitalfields takes its name from St. Mary's Spital, which was a hospital and priory founded in 1197. In the 13th century, King Charles II granted an entrepreneur a charter granting the right to hold a market twice a week in Spital Square. The market was exceedingly popular, and there's still a market there today. And according to Wikipedia, the market has 25,000 visitors a week. Spitalfields has always been associated with the silk industry. In the 1700s, the Irish and Huguenot silk weavers settled in Spitalfields, and this began the urbanization of the, until then, largely rural area. In 1769, the Spitalfields riots occurred. Basically, they were the result of the silk industry being in a downturn. The weavers tried to organize and maintain a living wage, and then riots broke out when the authorities tried to break up a meeting of weavers. And of course, I'm simplifying that a great deal, but it doesn't really play into the book. It's before the time period. All in all, Spitalfields has been a diverse area of London for most of history, and when Julia and the orphans lived there, it was inexpensive, and while not technically a slum, there were certainly unsavory elements about. The villain in my book, Slag, is loosely modeled after Joseph Merceron, who lived there from 1764 to 1839, and he was a politician who was very much like modern-day mobsters. His influence and power controlled everything that happened in the area, and he had his finger in every business from pubs and brothels to pawnbrokers, water companies, and even banks. So if you wanted to remain in business in Spitalfields, you paid Merceron for the privilege. Next week, I'm going to be chatting about the Napoleonic Wars. It's a huge subject, so really I'm just going to be covering the basics. And then the week after is release week, so be sure to pre-order your copy of No Earls Allowed today. See you next week.